The frost-laden air of the Scandinavian forest clung to Astrid's skin as she trudged through the snow. The sun had long since set, and the deep blue sky above her was studded with stars that offered little comfort. She carried a lantern, its flickering light barely illuminating the path ahead. The trees stood like silent sentinels, their skeletal branches stretching toward the heavens, as if mourning the lives lost in the harsh wilderness. Astrid had heard the stories, of voices crying in the dark, of the Myling that haunted these woods. A restless spirit, the Myling was said to be the ghost of a child abandoned by its mother, left to die in the cold. Its cries could draw travelers to their doom, and those who heard the wailing were cursed to carry the ghost until it found a proper burial. But Astrid didn't believe in ghost stories. She was a pragmatic woman, hardened by years of farming and solitude. Tonight, however, something about the forest felt different. A sound broke the silence, a faint, high-pitched wail. Astrid froze, her breath clouding the air as she strained to listen. The cry came again, louder this time, cutting through the stillness like a blade. It wasn't the wind, nor the howl of a wolf. It was the unmistakable sound of a child. Against her better judgment, Astrid followed the cries. Her lantern cast eerie shadows on the trees, and the snow crunched beneath her boots. The wailing grew closer, more desperate, as if the child was just beyond her reach. "Hello?" she called out, her voice trembling. "Is someone there?" The cries stopped abruptly, leaving an oppressive silence. She held her breath, her heart pounding in her chest. Then, from the shadows, a figure emerged. It was a child, no older than 5, with pale, translucent skin that seemed to glow in the dim light. Its eyes were hollow and black, and its mouth hung open in a silent scream. The child's tiny hands were outstretched, as if pleading for help. Astrid's blood turned to ice. She knew instantly what it was. A Myling. "Please," the child whispered, its voice ethereal and echoing. "Carry me." Astrid stumbled back, her instincts screaming at her to run. But the Myling's hollow eyes locked onto hers, and she found herself unable to move. She nodded slowly, and the ghostly child climbed onto her back, its icy grip sending chills down her spine. As soon as the Myling clung to her, the forest changed. The trees seemed to shift and close in around her, their branches clawing at her as she moved. The air grew colder, and the sound of her own breathing was muffled by the Myling's whispers. "Bury me," it murmured, its voice barely audible. "Where?" Astrid croaked, her throat dry with fear. The Myling pointed ahead, and Astrid had no choice but to follow. She trudged through the snow, the weight of the ghost growing heavier with each step. The lantern flickered, its light barely holding back the encroaching darkness. The whispers grew louder, overlapping and incoherent, as if the Myling carried the voices of countless abandoned souls. The trees seemed to watch her, their branches twisting into grotesque shapes. Finally, they reached a clearing where the snow was stained with blackened earth. The Myling slid off her back, its tiny feet sinking into the ground. It pointed to the center of the clearing, where the earth seemed to pulse like a beating heart. "Here," it said, its voice sharp and commanding. Astrid hesitated, her hands trembling as she knelt to dig. The frozen ground was unyielding, but she clawed at it with her bare hands, her nails breaking and bleeding. The whispers grew deafening, filling her mind with images of sorrow and pain. After what felt like hours, she unearthed a small, decayed bundle wrapped in cloth. The Myling knelt beside her, its hollow eyes fixed on the bundle. "Lay me to rest," it whispered. Astrid gently placed the bundle into the hole, her hands shaking as she covered it with earth. The moment the last handful of dirt was in place, the whispers ceased. The Myling stood before her, its form shimmering and fading. For the first time, its expression softened. "Thank you," it said, its voice no longer filled with anguish. The ghostly child vanished, leaving Astrid alone in the clearing. The forest seemed to exhale, the oppressive atmosphere lifting as the first rays of dawn broke through the trees. Exhausted and trembling, Astrid made her way back to her cabin. She never spoke of the encounter, but the memory of the Myling haunted her dreams for the rest of her life. And though she survived, she never again ventured into the woods at night. For she knew that not all cries for help could be ignored, and not all spirits could be saved. This chilling tale of the Myling reminds us of the power of guilt, redemption, and the lingering consequences of abandonment. Be sure to subscribe for more haunting stories of folklore and the supernatural. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Tap the bell to stay notified whenever we post a new video. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.